Hello everyone, and welcome to the Atelier Nekozuki podcast. My name is Katie, and today is Monday, December 3rd, 2018, and this is finally episode 63. I know I messed that up last week, but you're still here. I'd like to give a huge shout out to everyone who's returning, and also all the new subscribers. Thanks for coming over and joining us. I know quite a few of you are probably coming over because you heard about me on Dunderknit, or Knitting Vicariously with Caroline. So thanks, Caroline, and thanks for coming over and joining me. The lighting's a little bit different today. I live in, let's do a quick rundown for everyone who's new or hasn't heard this for a little while, but I live in Cochrane, Alberta, Canada. I am in the northwestern hemisphere, and it's winter. Pretty gross. It's 3:15, and because of how our house is built, our main floor actually doesn't have a lot of natural light right now. It's actually blocked by our backyard neighbors already, so like there's a ton in my bedroom, but I'm sorry, I'm not recording in my bedroom. So it's a little bit of fake light, a little bit of really diffused afternoon light, but next week I'll try and get recorded a little bit earlier. Today I did a lot of errands this morning and early afternoon, like buying Christmas presents and picking up a few things for the house, so I just didn't get recording before this point. I've also done my makeup, which I don't normally do, but I'm going out for some drinks with some of my husband's coworkers tonight and felt like I need a little bit of extra oomph. And I'm also on my period, so you know, a little bit of a nicer face to combat some of the cramping and bleh of that too, so whatever. If that's too much information, sorry guys, but you know. Let's get right into it. I am wearing my Tinder cardigan. This is the cardigan that I finished from West Coast Color Wool last week. It was the cone sweater. Yeah, I haven't put buttons on it yet, but whatever. It's comfy to wear, so I wanted to start wearing it right away. And I think I'm going to start with the other FOs right away too, because then I've got a new work in progress that I've actually done some work on. So these are actually Christmas gifts. Cassidy, if you're watching, I know you already know that you're getting these, but avert your eyes so that you don't actually see them before Christmas. So this is a pair of thrummed mittens. The black is Patton's classic wool in their worsted before it was called worsted. It's just their classic wool, it's 100% wool, and then the thrums are actually Gotland. Fleece, just a fleece I had around the house. Nice fluffy inside, you can't even see the yarn most of the way around. So my niece actually requested these for Christmas, and well, she requested mittens, so I was like, okay, well, what do you want? Do you want like a nice mitten, like a pattern mitten, or what? And I've knit my mother-in-law a pair of thrum mittens before, and I'm like, do you want them like your grandma's or what? So yeah, so they're all done. That's 25% of my Christmas knitting done. And then I did actually also finish the other pair of mittens. So these are the ones that I originally thought that she would want. So they are the wood stack mitten. Oh, and for the thrum mittens, I hacked the have a yarn thrummed mitten pattern and more or less followed the directions for that, but not completely. So because my niece has tiny hands, so I adjusted the length a little bit and the stitch count actually as well. Then the other ones I made are the wood stack mittens. These are by Jane Richmond. I've knit these before, but I actually lost my pair, or one of my pair, because you know that's how this goes in Canada. And the words are escaping me. I don't actually remember the yarn. Isn't that terrible? I was trying to find it the other day because I knew I was going to be talking about it. But it's a merino alpaca blend. You should be able to see quite a bit of the halo. Not all of it is cat fur. Yeah, right in there. There's a lot of halo. So it's really soft. It's really cool because the halo is black, and it's not going to focus, but that gives you a pretty good idea. It's got like this luminescent purple in the middle, so it's really cool. So it's super soft. She's very much a goth. So I figured these would probably fit the bill quite well, and then I didn't have to knit 2 pairs of mittens in black. Let me tell you, that was something. Yeah, I followed the pattern for the small size. This is in Jane Richmond's pattern book Within, I believe, and it's the wood stack mittens. Super comfy. Actually, the small size, except for the thumb, actually fits me, so I hope they fit her. Obviously, I still have to go through and do all the like ends and everything like that. I just finished these last night, and then I was like, no, I'm done. I want to work on my projects. So anyway, yeah, super comfy, nice mittens. The alpaca will also make these a little bit warmer, which is nice, because I did find with my pair with just wool, they were a little bit breezy. So I figured the alpaca in here will make them warmer, and it'll also fill in the gaps of like between the stitches, because it's almost actually the same pattern as this, so it's a waffle stitch. Just not quite. I don't want to give away the secret sauce, but yeah. So I find that style pattern can be a little bit breezy because you're doing the knit purls and switching consistently, and that will lead to can lead to just a little bit more gapping, I find, than like stockinette or something like that. So yeah, I hope she really likes them. So that's half my Christmas knitting done. The other 2 pieces will be for Dallas, and I will not be showing those on the podcast because my luck would have it that it would show up in the like screenshot and then he would see it, and yeah. And the thing about those ones though is I could show them to you after Christmas, whereas my nieces will be going to her house and I don't think I'll be getting them back. So, the other project, now this is the new cast on. I chatted about this last week. If you've been watching me on Instagram, I posted about it there. But I have cast on and am like 2.5 repeats into my Hirofude. So I am currently, oh, kitten's over there sneezing. I don't know if you can hear him, but all snuffly. He's also gone through a massive growth spurt. So he's sitting right beside Remy, and like Remy is smaller than him now, which is impressive because Remy is not like, he's an average size cat. He's not tiny, but he's not huge either. Anyway, let's get on to the knitting instead of being distracted by the cats. So I am 2.5 repeats. I'm almost done the 3rd repeat. As you can see, so there's 1, 2, 3. It started with a provisional crochet cast on in a contrast color, and yeah. I'm knitting these on US 5 3.75mm needles. I'm knitting them on my Chiaogus when they still had the bends in the cable, which I love. These are still my favorite needles. Unfortunately, they look like they are no longer producing them with the bends. I still really like the interchangeables and the lace. It's just that how I end up holding my needle, this actually protects the cable quite a bit better. So, and I understand you can't do that for like sock needles and stuff like that. I don't think they ever had them, the Chiaogu Reds with like, and sock sizes with the bends, but yeah. So I have 14 repeats of this to finish. So that means I've got 12.5 left. But this is Madeline Tosh Merino Light in Coquette. Absolutely spectacular color. Totally within my wheelhouse. This is one of my favorite colors ever. If this like top isn't a hint and the shawl I showed last week isn't a hint, I really like this color. It's a really like rich and deep dynamic pink. So it's got like darker bits and lighter bits obviously and everything like that. It is a hand dyed yarn. I am alternating skeins, so I've actually got 2. I'm carrying them in one of my knot bags because there's the 2 skeins and all the paraphernalia, and then my project could just go straight on top. And also because this one totally has Beauty and the Beast right in the front, and Beauty and the Beast is my favorite. It's also got a good part of Rapunzel on the handle, actually. Girl with the strange hair. So, yeah, this is still one of my favorite prints. Yeah, it's actually going to come with me tonight because, amazingly, this lace is easy enough that I can do it around people. So I'll be taking it tonight. Let's see. So yeah, so I've finished the mittens, so I'm halfway through the Christmas knitting, which is pretty good, because honestly, if I don't get Dallas's done, I don't get Dallas's done, whatever. He knows, and it is very patient. So probably the work in progress that I'll be working the most on will be the Hirofude. Oh, and it is by, the Hirofude cardigan is by Hiroko Fukatsu, and you can find it on her Ravelry page. There isn't anything else to say about any of that stuff. This week has been, let's see, I am currently listening to The Glittering Cart by Rochelle Mead. It's a young adult fantasy romance. I'm far enough in to say that I'm enjoying it, and I haven't actually had a lot of time to listen to books recently. I did that whole big update, and then because I haven't really had to do any listening, the only time I've been listening has been when I've been driving. And so for the past week, because Dallas is home, he's been driving, and he doesn't, and I totally can't blame him for this, he doesn't want to like catch parts of books. So I haven't actually done a lot of listening this week, but that's okay. I'm driving in, I drove home myself, and I'll be driving back into Calgary again myself today, so I'll be listening then. And I'm not actually reading any physical books. I am, as an ebook, I am reading The Elusive Bride by Stephanie Lawrence. I did finish The Untamed Bride by Stephanie Lawrence and really enjoyed it. That was the one that I was talking about last week, where it was a male narrator for a romance. The erotic scenes in these ones aren't as, like, they're definitely erotic, but they're not as, like, blatantly, like, naming things as some of the other romance that I've been reading, which is fine. It's got a nice spice to it, which I'm really enjoying, but it's also got a really good story, so that's actually why I'm reading it more than the sexy bits, which some of the other books I've been reading recently, that's totally what I'm reading them for. I.e. like the Air by Grace Burrows. And then, so that's a historical romance set in the Regency area with following 4 gentlemen from the East India Company, so it's really good. And then I read a few others more along the erotic fiction line. Definitely along the erotic fiction line is Overheard by Maya Banks. I would read the description on that one first. It's got a few things that you might not be comfortable with. It was a really short audiobook. It was like 2.5 hours. And then I also listened to Absolutely Positively by Jane Ann Krentz, Krentz. And that one was abridged, and it definitely felt abridged. It felt like everything just kind of happened. And so it was a good, I don't know, it was 3 hours, so I listened to it. I had to drive into Calgary for something, so I listened to it there and back, so that's like an hour. And then I finished it up that night, actually. So I wouldn't highly recommend it, but yeah, again, take a look at the, like, description, I guess would be the best way of doing that. I just got a bunch of books out of the library that I really want to start, some new young adult fiction, so I think over the next few weeks that's where I'll be heading. We got a little bit more work done on the basement. The electricians came in. We're going to go into chatter. Segue! The electricians came in and actually wired the basement this week, but we found out that there is quite a bit of moisture condensation behind our vapor barrier and not siding, insulation. So we need to actually go in and pull all the vapor barrier down, pull all the insulation out, let it dry, put the insulation back, vapor barrier again, and then I have to run an acoustiseal, it's called, around all of the joints, so that we take out one side of the humidity equation. So that has to happen before drywall, of course. So it's another step. This basement, for what is supposed to be, like, I know we're developing it, but going into it, it looked like a fairly simple project, and there's just been a few things that have popped up where it's like, oh, well, that's not actually as easy as it was supposed to be. So, I don't know. Once we get there's a couple other things we have to finish. Dallas has to build a couple bulkheads for over our piping and then over, like, across the ceiling, basically. And some other gas lines and stuff like that. So we have to do that, and then we can, once the insulation and the vapor barrier is up and finished, we can have the inspector in so that we can actually get inspected, and then we can drywall. Once we drywall, then, and I can do drywall, we have to drywall, and then flooring, and then it will, well, like drywall, paint, finish that, then flooring, then it'll be done, and I can move down and have my new studio. So super excited for that to happen because it needs to happen. On the other hand, I need to actually go in and tidy up the studio so that it's easier to move everything down. So I think that might be one of the projects that I tackle in the next few days. Dallas has some more OT coming up right before Christmas, so that's probably a good time to at least start. What else is happening? We went and got our tree this weekend, so if you're following me on Instagram, you've already seen that. Dallas has been studying for an exam, so we really haven't been doing much. What I've been doing most of this week is knitting those thrummed mittens, and then the wood stack mittens, and the Hitofude. So yeah, I really haven't touched anything else. Lots of YouTube. I caught up on my podcast yesterday with the Knitting Vicariously, and then the Knit Girls as well, and just kind of waiting for a couple other episodes to come out so I can watch them over the next week. And then that actually brings me to just a tiny bit of shop news. There's not much. Everything is listed in the shop right now. It actually got all up before Black Friday, which was perfect. But I am running a promotion right now. It's called 12 Days of Deals. It'll run from December 1st through December 12th. And every day there's a different deal. So it's a discount off a certain item. And there's free shipping on all orders, no minimum orders, through December 12th at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And each deal runs from 12:01 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time of the day that the deal goes out. I do post all these deals on the website, so if there's a click through at the top, you can see what's on special. Or if you subscribe to the newsletter, you get the deal first. So you get first pick because I can schedule that and it goes out at a certain time. Because I'm not staying up till midnight every night, unfortunately, to post on social media, but the newsletter will. And you can sign up for the newsletter at the very bottom of the website, Atelier Nekozuki.com. And then you'll receive those directly into your email for the next, what is it, December 3rd, so there's 9 days left. So yeah, if you do purchase an item and want it for Christmas, the one caveat I will put here is that shipping is going to be the cheapest, which will be through Canada Post, which normally is not a problem, but with the recent strike with Canada Post, I can't guarantee any delivery times. So if you do require an item by Christmas, select the next, like, the cheapest or least expensive option from Canada Post listed, and then I'll upgrade you for free to FedEx, which will be shipping and is delivering within their normal timelines, like 4 to 5 days via ground. And that will get your parcels to you for Christmas, as long as you order within this 12 days. Other than that, there's nothing to report. I'm not actually sewing right now. It's all just, it's up there. I'll be tidying up the studio, and you can watch for the deals on the social media. So yeah, it's a short one, guys, because there's really not much to report with the Hitofude taking up most of my time. I probably won't have a ton to show, but I'll put a progress keeper on it, and we'll make sure that I can actually show you what I've done for the last week, because it's not going to look like much otherwise. So here's hoping I can actually, though, get some more work done on it, given that oh my goodness, the brain fog is really bad this month. Sorry. hopefully I can get some more done on it, given that I'm done the pressing Christmas knitting. And the other two projects that I have planned can mostly happen around the Hitofude instead of the Hitofude happening around Christmas projects. So yeah. Anyway, guys, I will see you probably next weekend. I'm going to try and record on Friday so that you can watch me over the weekend. If you have any questions, you can comment down below or contact me through my social media, Atelier Nekozuki, and I will chat with you guys all soon. Thanks so much and have an awesome day. Bye.